Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So this video marks the beginning of week number 39 in this road to 100k realized return challenge. And so the markets have started this week in a pretty negative note, I should say. All indexes are down more than 3%, and apparently this is because of several factors, including the fact that the negotiations to try to not to for tariffs being imposed. So the negotiations between the U.S. administration and other countries in order to avoid the tariffs being imposed are not progressing at this point, and also some ripple effects from last week after U.S. President Donald Trump on in a post on the social media network Truth Social, he called for Fed Chairman Jerome Powell's termination. Now another post was done by U.S. President Donald Trump, apparently, that he claimed that the economy would slow. And keep in mind, this is news from today. Of course, this is 2:46 local time, so Eastern time. So this is this news has just minutes by the time we are recording this, and apparently he mentioned that Mr. Too Late, meaning Fed Chairman Jerome Powell, is a major loser, and he claims that the economy would slow unless Mr. Jerome Powell, Mr. Too Late, uh, lowered interest rates immediately. And so apparently, of course, I'll leave the judgment of whether this kind of expression should be done by a head of state of a major economy, and of course the biggest economy in the world, whether this is appropriate or not. But in the end, what this means is that U.S. President Donald Trump is trying to interfere and tarnish the independence of an institution which is supposed to be independent. And so because central banks are supposed to be independent and not and should remain abreast of any political pressure, but nonetheless these attempts by the US president are making investors even more nervous, and so this situation is one of the factors that causes the index to be down by this much. And right now, as things stand, I can show you already. I've already inputted the trend before, which was this one over here. I sold three calls with a strike price of 446. We have already bought those back, and we bought those back, interestingly so, at 3 cents a piece. And why is that? Because these calls were already pretty much out of the money, and it would take some time for them to become priced at 1 cent, available to be bought back at 1 cent. And of course, I don't think I've explained this before, but due to the delta of each option, as an option becomes further out of the money, the sensitivity of the option price relative to the underlying asset price, becomes smaller and smaller. That's what basically the delta measures. And so, for example, this option over here, this call option, with a strike price of 438, because it is less out of the money, it's a bit closer to the money, has a higher sensitivity. And so, because it's it's more close to the at the money, and of course it's a higher price because it's more closer to the money, it has also a higher delta. And so the capacity to depreciate further as time passes by, also not as time passes by, because that's the theta, but as the prices continue to fall, this is the price of this option is will go down by a higher rate than this one, which is further out of the money. This is a bit of complicated concept to explain, but let me know in the comment section below if you would like me to explain what the delta of the option is. But for the time being, we bought back these $446 dollar call options, and we sold those at 438. Of course, as you can see right here, with a stop loss for 26 cents. So if this option becomes priced at 26 cents, it will be bought back. But by the way things are going, that should not happen unless some of those U-turns come around, and there's a major shift in the market today. And so yeah, for the QQQ, this is it. For Pfizer, there were very little options, very few options for us to trade, and here, as you can see, we could only, for the 1 week option, we could only go as far as $23.50 strike price. I could and I consider the possibility of selling further out a longer maturity call option, which would allow me to go up to 25.5 or 26. But the only factor, or probably the major factor, the biggest factor that made me not to use this call option, not to sell one of these call options, is, and I'm going to show you here, Pfizer earnings, is that Pfizer is due to release its earnings on the April 29th, and so these 2-week options, will only expire on May the 2nd. So I would really like not to be exposed to the call options, especially if these call options are below what we at the price at which we intend to sell. I would rather not have any call options or any positions on call options open, and so I would rather sell this one, wait until it expires worthless, these 1 week call options, and then, because the April 29th it falls on a Tuesday, wait until the earnings come, and then we'll reassess what we are going to do. But for the time being, I think this is the best solution. And so, of course, we were only able to sell call options at 1 cent, which is almost nothing. And even if these expire worthless, and just making a quick calculation here in our scoreboard, this would only give us a profit of $8.45, which is basically nothing compared to in comparison with the amount of collateral or commitment that we did on these shares. So, but we need to keep this relatively safe against any potential adverse outcomes, and so that's the way it's going to be for now. And so, yeah, this is it for now. We are going to proceed with a lot of caution and try to cover our positions as much as we can against any potential market U-turns. But for the time being, this is all. Feel free to leave your comments below. Let me know in the comment section if you'd like me to make a quick video explaining what is the delta of the option. Also, feel free to like the video and subscribe to the channel. I'm also available on LinkedIn in case you want to ask me any questions. And we will reconvene at the end of this week to see how the trades went to close week 39 in this challenge. And I'll see you there.